So we have learned about the outline agreement, right? In the outline agreement, we have learned about the quantity contract and then the value contract, right? So there is one topic is left, that is the scheduling agreement. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's months.
See, contract agreement we have done with the quantity and the value contract. Their agreement types are differ. Okay, quantity we have used the MK and value contract we have used the WK. And the T codes are ME31K, ME32K, ME33K. Okay, but in a scheduling agreement, what will happen? Everything will be the same, but the only changes will happen, that is we are using the T code as an ME31L for the creation. For the change, we are using the 32L. For the display, we are using the 33L. So first I'll tell you about the overall view about the scheduling agreement. See what will happen. Just I'll give you one example. Okay. For example, we are buying. You know the RFQ process and everything, right? We have learned in the procure to pay cycle.
Yes.
See, what will happen in the RFQ process, we will bid, like we'll select the vendor, and based on the price and based on the few terms and condition, everything will select the vendor. So what will happen? So after that, if you wanted to make an agreement with the vendor, suppose you already learned about the contract agreement. Scheduling agreement is nothing but in the contract, what you have learned, we have made the time frame. For example, within a 1 year, I want overall this much of the quantity, right? Like for example, 1,000 quantity I require in a 1 year, right? But in a scheduling agreement, what will happen? We will only schedule the time. For example, first 2 months, I'll require 1,000 quantity. The next 2 months, I'll require again 2,000 quantity. Next 2 months, so I'll require 1,000 quantity. So we'll schedule the quantity. That is the only difference compared to the contract and the scheduling agreement. Okay, in the scheduling, we'll schedule the quantity based on the time. Like in the business, based on the business requirement. For example, for the next 3 months, I require 10,000 materials. So I will schedule this in a system. So after 3 months, I'll require 15,000 materials from the vendor. So for a year or for 2 years, for example, in the real time, what will happen? They will make an agreement with the vendor for the long term. Okay, for the 2 years or the 3 years purpose, they will make an agreement and they'll schedule. For 6 months, they require this much quantity, and the next 3 months, they require this much quantity. So they will make the settings in a SAP. Okay, that is the only difference between the contract agreement and the scheduling agreement. Then, just let me share my screen. See, we have learned about the contract agreement, right? Scheduling agreement. I'll just write down the T codes for the creation. We are using ME31L. Yeah, any issue? Harish?
No months.
Okay. For the change, everything is same. ME31K, 32K, 33K. So you have to just change the L. Okay. Change ME32L and then display ME33L. Okay. These are the T codes, and agreement type also will differ. Agreement type is LP. I'll just show you in a system. So what we have to do is process, create the material. In a real time, you can go through the purchase requisition, PIR, and everything. But as of now, I'll just go with the material creation, the vendor creation. Directly, I will schedule. I will go to the scheduling agreement. Okay. Third, PIR, that is optional. For almost all the process, PIR is optional. Only for the consignment process and the pipeline process, this PIR is very mandatory. Okay. It's also optional. Now, scheduling agreement. What is the T code for the scheduling agreement? What is the agreement type?
LP.
Yes. Then first we'll do the scheduling agreement document. Then we have to do the create schedule lines. Here we have to mention the specific dates. For example, for next 3 months, we want these requirements. Okay. For example, 200 or 300. Just I'm giving the small amount of the numbers. Okay. In a real time, it may be lagged together. That is the yes. So the T code is ME38. Once we are done with this, we have to do the GR process and then we have to do the IR process. Okay. First, let me log into the SAP system. I'll just create a material. Return. Material of schedule. I'll just take as an KG. No, it's going to be an KG. You can take the other examples also. You can take diesel, petrol, anything like that. Created on material and just create one vendor also. Is it one? Mhm. We have created one vendor also. So we'll just directly go to the scheduling agreement document. In the this is as same as the contract agreement. Okay. So what is the T code? ME31 PLB. So I'll just take the vendor. So what is the agreement type?
LP.
See, we can define the agreement type also in a number, material master and in the vendor master. All you have learned about define of the material type and the account group and everything, right? So at the same thing, we have defined the agreement type also. For the scheduling agreement, the standard agreement type is LP. So I'll just show you how to make the agreement type also. First, we'll finish this process. Okay, just take LP. Then purchasing organization and then purchase group you have to mention. Just click this and you have to mention the validity end date here. Okay. I'll just take next month as an end date. So, but in a real time, it will be a long process. It may take 5 years also, or else 10 years also. So as of now, I have taken only for 1 month, okay? And don't give any value here. This is for the scheduling agreement. Once you're done with this, just enter. And here you have to make the material. First, you have to make for how much quantity you're making an agreement. And then you have to schedule the quantities based on that, okay? So see here, for example, what will happen, right? For example, you have to mention the target quantity first. For example, 10,000 I'm giving you, mentioning, wait, yeah, 10,000 I'll mention, and I'll mention it as an 4 rupees. Okay, just see the changes, what will happen. Okay, this is same as the contract agreement. Once you're done with the creation of the scheduling agreement, so you have to do the schedule lines here. Okay, what is the T code for the creation of the schedules? We have to make the time frame for the next 3 months. We want in a 10,000 quantity, we require only 1,000 quantity for the next 3 months. That to next 2 months, I require only 2,000 quantity. Okay, we will make that in a we have to schedule that lines in a create schedule lines. Okay, what is the T code?
ME38 for me.
ME38. Automatically the agreement number it will do. See, 156 here, the same number, right? See, agreement number. Just enter. See, already see material for scheduling agreement, 10,000 quantity. First, you have to mention the overall quantity. So for the next 2 years, how much quantity you are going to buy from this vendor. Then we have to make the schedule lines. Okay, see, we have maintained 10,000 quantity for a 1 month. Okay, this is the material number, and then open target quantity. You have to observe this one, open target quantity. Okay, and then material group, and then plan. Select this one. See, purchase order history, you'll not get. Okay. Once you're done with the scheduling agreement delivery schedule only, you will get the 1 second. See here. See. Just double click the and then mention the dates. For example, we have maintained for the next 31st, right? So what I will do. Okay. First, I'll take this one for today. I'll mention 100 quantity. Okay. Next, I'll make for next 2 days. That is on 27th. The time I'll make 500 quantities. And then I'll mention 29th. That time 1,500 quantity. So how much quantity required based on the time frame? Just I'm giving random numbers here. 100 quantity, 500 quantity, 1,500 quantity. So like this, till we have a 31st day time, right? We have mentioned for the run 31st. Till 31st May, we can make the schedules for a next 2 days or next 3 days. It may depends upon the business, how the business is running. In a real time, what will happen for a month or for 3 months, they will make the schedule. For 3 months, they require 10,000 quantity. For the next 6 months, they require 20,000 quantity, like that. But here I've just maintained an 100 quantity, 500 quantity, 1,500 quantities. I've just given 2 to 3 days delivery date time. Okay, and then is the so can you observe one thing here? For this, I'll just maintain 2,000 quantity. Yes. Can anybody observe the difference in the scheduling agreement?
Like we can see also the total number of product we required to till date or to the upcoming date.
See, yes. Here, first we have taken the 100 quantity, then 500 quantity, then 1,500 and 2,000. So total how much quantity? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 100 quantities we have utilized. So till how much quantity we can take? What is the target quantity we have mentioned?
5,900.
10,000 we have maintained the target quantity, right? So still 5,900 quantity is left. We can make the time frame here. Okay, it's not only 2 to 3 days. As I already told you, like in a business, it will be for the long term, 3 years or the 5 years, and this scheduling agreement they will take for a month or for a year, for a 3 months, for a 6 months, for a year. How much quantity the business required? For example, based on the overall consumption in the previous quantities, they will make a frame. Okay, so okay, for the next 3 to 6 months I require this much of the quantity from this vendor, so I'll make a schedule. So what happened in the contract agreement, there they will just give the target quantity. For a year they will make the complete quantity this much. Okay, but in a schedule agreement, what will happen? They will make the scheduling time also. Okay, for this date, for a 24th today, I require 100 quantity. For the 27th, I require 500 quantity. 29th, I require 1,500. They will make the scheduling line, scheduling dates. Okay. Once you're done with this, just I'll say the day number will not change. So now you can able to see the scheduling. Just you can see this one, right? Purchase order history. You will not get the see, no purchase order history exists for item 0010. Okay, just 1 second. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so we have done with the schedule lines. Okay, so this will not get updated until and unless we receive the materials. Okay, so here we have done the schedule agreement line also. Just observe here, what is the next step we have to do? We have created the schedule lines also. Yeah, right. We have to receive the materials from. Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, what is the calculation that I'm not getting? The scheduled quantity you have done 100. Then what is being multiplied with that 100?
1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
This one you're asking, right?
Yes, ma'am.
See, we have what is the target quantity we have mentioned while we are creating the scheduling agreement? 10,000, right?
10,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just give you a normal example. Okay, for example, 10,000 cement bags we are make the target quantity for the next 1 year. Okay, I'm just giving you the normal example. So what happened in a real time? So next 2 months, in a 10,000 bags, I require 2,000 bags in the next 2 months. For example, you can take this 24th to 6th, like in the June 24th, I require 2,000 cement bags. Okay, I'll just make the schedule lines. I'll just fix the date. For particular this date, I require these materials. Okay, here I just given a random numbers 100, 500, 1,500, 2,000. The reason here is just I gave taken 1 month of the time delivery time. So that's why I have taken for today. I need the 100 quantity. For a 27th, I required 500 quantity. For the 29th, I required 1,000 quantity. And the third, I required 2,000 quantity. Okay, here it is the calculation of the complete material. The 4,100. The reason here is already 100, 500, 1,500, 2,000. We make the schedule lines here, right? So 4,100 quantities we already scheduled. So remaining 5,900 quantities left over. So for that reason, we can make the time frame here.
Okay, means it's not calculating anything. It's just taking
it's
the
not
as per our
calculating,
target.
Yes,
Okay.
you can take just see here. I just tried to mention 1,200. See here.
Yeah, correct.
4,200. Just suppose I give 1,000. See, 4,700. Understood? So just
Yeah.
I'm taking the small amount of the number, but in a real time it may differ. They will take for a lakh together, okay? For 10,000, for a 1 lakh, the material. So whatever for the production thing, how much quantity they require, so that they will take according to that. Here I just taken the random numbers, 200,000, 1,500, 2,000. I made it as an 10,000 as a target quantity. Okay. First, you have to make the target quantity for the vendor. For example, 10,000, 50,000 like that. In under 50,000, for the next 2 years, when you require the materials. For the next 3 months, it's completely based on the consumption of the previous materials. Okay, they will plan. In a warehouse, they will plan and they make all those decisions, and then they will make the scheduling lines. Okay. For the next 3 months, they require 10,000. That to next month, they require only 5,000 of the cement bags. Like this, they will make the schedule lines and they will fix the quantity. Okay. And one more thing you have to observe, we have mentioned the dates here, right? Before 24th, I can take the, so I have made the 100 quantity here. I can take the 100 quantity while doing the GR. For the 27th, you have to receive the goods on 27th only. Before that, you can't able to receive the goods. Where whatever the dates we have fixed here, right? The quantities and the dates on particular that day only the quantities we have to receive. Before that, if you can try, I'll just try with the system also now. Just note down, okay? I'll just do my go. Yeah, tell me.
What if you want more complicated time?
Sorry.
Scheduling more quantity.
You have to fix that quantity before while you're making the scheduling lines. While you're making the time and the quantity, you have to fix the time. See, this will happen based on the previous consumptions. Okay, they will take an average and they will make the schedule lines.
Suppose in a particular scheduling time, you require 100 quantity, but you have
Yes.
mentioned 90 only. Then what we do?
Sorry, I didn't get it. So, for example, for a particular day, we require 100 quantity, but we have mentioned
We have
90.
mentioned the scheduling. Yes.
See, with this scheduling agreement, you can't able to buy that 10 quantities extra at that same time. Okay. If you wanted this required quantity on particular date, you have to mention it before, or else you have to go with the normal process without agreement.
We can't change the one.
Once you're done with the scheduling agreement and then we have done with the creating schedule lines and everything, then you can't change. Okay. Once you already sent all this document to the vendor, you can't able to change. Before that, if you want any changes, now I can do the changes. Okay. But in a real time, so once you're done with, like once you send the PO copy, once you're done with the scheduling agreement copy with the vendor, later you can't change. Before that, if you have done any mistake or if you wanted to change anything, you can change that time.
And why we are not going to create PO?
Sorry.
PO.
With respect to PO, we are already creating the schedule agreement, right? In scheduling agreement only, we are mentioning the vendor name and then the material number, everything. What is the quantity required and all the price, everything we already maintaining under the scheduling agreement only. So PO is not required. Directly, we can send this copy. Once the vendor will receive this copy, he will deliver the receipt. He will deliver the material. Instead of PO, we have maintained all these details in the scheduling agreement only, right? And we have done the schedule lines also based on the time, what and all the quantities we require, everything we have maintained here, right? So why we require the PO? The same thing follows. See, vendor details also we have mentioned. We have mentioned material details also, and we have mentioned how much quantity we require, and the price also we have mentioned, and the delivery dates also we have mentioned, right?
Yes.
Actually, this will take place only in the long term if they are going to make the agreement. Okay. So I'll just go with the MIGO. You have to mention the scheduling agreement document number. Okay. See, material for scheduling agreement 100 kg. Date, what date we have mentioned? 24th, right? Today I can receive only 100. Just see, I will try to receive 200 quantity. One second. Okay. Just see the changes. Just a little. Scheduling agreement. Just I have to show you something. This is the GL number, right? Just go back to the same thing, give me 38. Same number. Select this line item. Purchase order. See? You have received the 100 quantity. We have mentioned it as an 4 rupees, 100 into 400. So this is the purchase order history for the scheduling agreement where you can see. Okay. Once you're done with this, if you wanted to check the accounting entries, BSXW, the same, the normal BSX, whenever you're receiving the goods, right? BSX and WM, the same accounting entries you will come. Inventory, the consumption of the raw materials. Okay. Srinivas, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there is no changes. You will be getting the normal BSX and WRX with the accounting entries. Just what you have to do is, if you wanted to check all the details, the same code ME38, just select this one and you can see this right purchase order history. If you wanted to check all the details purchase order history, you can go and check it here. Okay.
Ma'am, can you just show once?
1 second. Let me show from the
Ma'am, ME38 is the T code for the schedule to see the scheduling agreement, right?
yes, the same screen. Just enter. What you have to do now? Just select this line. In the upside, you have this purchase order history field. Can you see this one?
Yes.
Yeah. Double click on this. You'll get the details if you wanted to check the purchase order history.
Okay.
See, this is the material document number, GR. Once you're done with the IR process, then also it will get updated. The same thing in the PO also, once you're done with the goods receipt and the inventory, you can able to see the purchase order history, right? Before GR, did you get any purchase order history in the PO copy?
No,
Once you receive the material, once you've done the payment, then only you will get the purchase order history will get updated. Okay, so now we have done only the GR, so material document get updated. Once we're done with the IR process, IR also will get updated here. Okay, and if you wanted to check all the details, see the remaining quantity is left over. So before I have mentioned 24th for 2024 100 quantity, right? See, now I have received 100 quantity already, right? So the remaining, the next scheduling date is 27th. So on 27th, I'll receive a 500 quantity. See, can you able to see the 100 quantity on a 24th?
No, ma'am.
Why?
No.
Because it is already.
We already received the goods, right? Yeah. So on this particular date, you can receive this quantities. Before, you can't able to receive the 500 quantities. We'll make the time frame for the 27th will require 500 quantity, 29th will require 1500. So on that particular date only you'll receive this particular quantity. Okay. So this is we have done with the GR process also. Everything is same, only the little bit changes. Okay. do the invoice also for this. Invoice data I'll mention. And the same numbers, this number. Everything get updated. Amount you have to mention. And then maintain it as an VA, okay, zero tax code, VO. Or else you'll get the errors. In a real time, it will differ. What is the tax code I am maintaining? You have to mention the tax code, but as of now, maintain zero. Okay. Everything is same. The normal IR process, nothing is changes. This is the IR. And if you wanted to check the accounting entries here, go to display. Where I have to go? Are you checking all the accounting entries once you're done with the GR process and the IR process with all the different business process?
Yes.
See. What is the accounting entries you're getting?
KBS and
KBS,
WRX.
WRX.
Yes. Why WRX is debit here?
Because inventory will be increased.
Yes. Why KBS is credit here?
Vendors when inventory is decreased.
Yes. So again, go and check in a ME38. Okay, see, and one more thing I have to tell you, once you're done with all this business process, check the accounting entries, GR and the IR, or all the accounting entries you are getting in the GR and the IR. For the subcontracting, I have shown you completely. Consignment also I have shown you completely. Outline agreement, I don't know, you guys have checked for the quantity and the value update. Okay, you have to check that one also. Scheduling agreement I have shown you now. For the upcoming business process also, for the pipeline, and if you are doing other business process, you have to check all the accounting entries, what you are getting. Done? And you have to note down. Select this one, again, check. See? So IR get updated here. Right? Before we have done only the GR. So that's why only the GR process, GR got updated. So now we have completed with the IR process also. This is the IR number. So IR got updated here. All the details. Done? Kanya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please check all the accounting entries once you're done with the business process, okay? For the standard thing, everything is same, okay? BSX, WRX, and everything is same. But when we are doing the different business process like a scheduling, consignment, and the pipeline procurement and all, so accounting entries will differ.
Okay.
Okay. So this is about the scheduling agreement. I told you that OLM. So I'll just show you how to do the agreement type and everything. As it is the same things we have followed for the material master, vendor master, and the PIR, everything. I'll just show you the flow. Okay. See here what we are doing. Outline agreement, right?
Yes.
First, I'll show for the contract agreement. Okay. Both are the same. Just go to the OLME directly, you will get the purchasing, and then go to the contract agreement. See, define number ranges, define document time, and define screen layout. Everything is same as material master. For example, if you wanted to define document type, I'll just create one. What is the document for the quantity contract? Quantity. MK, right?
WK. MK.
quantity I'm asking. Yeah, just take the same thing. Okay, just select the standard one, copy as. If you wanted to make any other, if you wanted to give other name, I'll just try to give KK. Yes. Just copy all, everything will get copied. Yes, KK, and you have to say. Okay. If you wanted to make a different document type, you can make this. And then I'll just show you the number ranges also. Same thing. You have to select the from to number. If the number is not available, go with the free intervals. So whatever the free intervals are available, just take that numbers. And then you have to do the number ranges. And then the screen layout also, the same thing. Material master and vendor master you have done, right? ME31, sorry, ME31 I'll take. Then copy as. You have to just give the field selection key number here. And then the normal process, how you done with the PR and the material master, vendor master. If you wanted to do all these settings, you can do it here. Okay. The same thing you have to follow, define number ranges, define document, define screen layout. It's not mandatory to practice all these things, but I'm telling you the flow where you have to do exactly. In the material master, we can define the material type, right? In the vendor master also, we can define the account group, right? The same thing you can do it in the offline agreement also. Take the standard one, MK we have taken. For the value contract, you have to take for the WCAS and standard. Okay, if you are doing for the scheduling agreement, I'll show you that one also. Same thing, define number ranges, define document type, define screen layout. Go to document. What is the document for the scheduling agreement?
LP.
Yes, take the standard, copy and create it. Okay. These are the other document type they have created, and they have assigned the number ranges also, internal number ranges and the external number ranges. So if you wanted to create the new document types, and then if you wanted to assign the new number ranges, and if you wanted to change the screen filtering also, you can do it here. Okay. OLME under the purchasing, you will be getting the contract and the scheduling agreement. Both the steps are the same thing as it is how you have followed in the material master, vendor master, PR. If you are thorough with that configuration, you can directly do it here.
Once again,
Done?
you explain this define screen layout.
Yeah, one second for the scheduling diagram. One second. First, let me create one document type it here. And just take the LP, take copy as. What is the name I today? And it is the number ranges. Okay, and this. And just go with the contract agreement. KK we have created, right? We have copied also that one. So let me go with the define screen layout. Basic data. Just change it here. Plant, item category, storage location, everything is in the optional entry. If you wanted to make this, for example, what I'll do, storage location. Okay, I'll just uncheck this one and I'll just check this one. Okay. Just enter. If you wanted to change in other field selection, go to that one. Change anything. Currency, it's in actual optional entry. Uncheck this box and check this box. Enter. Go back. The same thing, administrative data. If you wanted to change anything, for example, JR message, it's not in a display optional entry, required entry. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just make a required entry. Done. So everything, the quantity, let me check with the quantity and the price. See, everything is in the optional entry. Whatever the
Okay.
fields you require entry, display entry, so you can select this one. All the options is here. Just what you have to do now, double click one. Just double click and you will get
Okay.
this thing. If you wanted to change in a basic one, double click, change it here. And one more thing, whenever you are changing, first uncheck and then check this box. Okay, I'll
Yes.
just keep it as a normal. Wait, let me change. What else I changed? Currency. No. Did I change anything? Reference data. Whatever the fields you require changes, you can change it here. Okay.
Yeah.
Define screen layout. Same thing for the scheduling agreement also. Go to ME31. Double click, change. Done.
Yes.
For both the scheduling and the contract, the same thing. There is nothing gets changes here. Yes. Anything else?
Mansa, this outline agreement, this contract agreement, we
Mhm.
can generate without PO.
The contract agreement, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The document, okay, just give you one chart, okay? Just I will take this one. What will happen? For the contract agreement, what they are doing is PR is not mandatory, okay? Just I'll write it.
PR, PIR
PR,
not mandatory.
yeah, PR, then contract agreement. Then sometimes if the agreement is not, we have to do the release order or release procedure also. Release procedure still we have not done. We'll do it later, okay? That time, so release order. If, for example, it's already the configuration is already done, okay, for the all the PO contract agreement, value agreement, everything already configuration part is done for the release procedure. Okay, we'll do it, and then GR, and then IR. This is for the contract, right?
Yes.
So schedule agreement. For this, just I'm writing PR, then schedule agreement, then schedule lines, then GR, then IR. See, instead of creating the in the contract agreement, what you have done, you have taken the schedule agreement number and then you have created the PO, right?
Yes.
Yes. What you can do, directly take the contract agreement number and you can receive the goods. This is for the scheduling agreement. This is the two different process, and the PO also. I'll show you. PO order. Here, what we are doing is PR, PO, GR, and then IR. Done.
Because actually I mentioned in outlined agreement this contract one, material vendor quantity contract and PO.
Yeah, from
That
PR, I
I
have right here. Material vendor, PR are not mentioned it here. Just see the differences for the contract agreement, scheduling agreement, and the PO order. See, for the contract, PR, just leave it. It is not mandatory. We have to do the contract agreement, and then if we have the settings in the release procedure, we have to do the release order also. But all the configuration is already done. Once we are doing the release procedure, na, that time I'll tell you all the release procedure for the outline agreement, for the PO, PR, everything. Okay, just note it down. Release order. If the document is not able
Yeah.
to receive in the goods issues, that time we have to release the CO contract agreement. Okay, but already you
Yeah.
are not getting any error. The reason here is all the settings are already done. Okay, but
Okay.
you will get the error while you are receiving the goods if you are not release the contract agreement or else any PO agreement. If you make the release procedure, okay, that time you'll get to know when we are doing the release procedure. So GR and then IR. So in the schedule agreement, what we are doing, PR, schedule agreement. We'll take the agreement number and then we'll fix the time frame, schedule lines. And then GR, IR. But in the PO, what we are doing in the standard PO, once we receive the PR, we'll send the PO copy and then we'll receive the goods and then we'll do the IR.
Yes.
If you're following the contract and the schedule agreement, not necessary to maintain the PO. See, it's already the schedule agreement is the document number where all the details will contain. Vendor number, the material number, all the details which is required in the PO, everything will be contained in the schedule agreement and the CO contract agreement copy. It's not required to create PO again.
Okay.
Okay.
Once, see in the schedule agreement, we are not generating the PO and we are generating the schedule agreement. In the schedule agreement, we don't have any we are just maintaining the price for the quantity. We don't have like any plus taxes or like this is net price or the gross price. We are not putting anything. So after IR only we came to know that it is with tax or without tax or something. So related to GR process, do we need these things like price differences only we will create or not?
Sorry.
Like in
Yeah,
schedule
during
agreement,
GR, yeah, I understood everything. Till GR, you are telling something.
yeah, in the GR
See,
process,
while we are
while the
receiving
good
the
will
goods,
become in the company,
Hmm.
at that time the price will be different. Like if the vendor says like I consider with tax, without tax, and we are not mentioning until the schedule agreement because there is a no any options. In PO we can mention like with tax, without tax, like net price or gross price that we can maintain.
Yeah, that is the added advantage.
But here,
So,
no,
yeah, that's what I told you. See, scheduling agreement, why we are making the scheduling agreement? Tell me.
because there is a vendor, we
Mhm.
have to buy some quantity
Mhm.
like per day, per month, per week that we our
Mhm.
needs, and they,
Mhm.
he has to fulfill, and we cannot go outside to find another vendors and not finding the quantity and all. So we have some relation, or else we can build up some relation with one vendor. That time we have to buy some quantity.
Yeah, see, I'll just give you two examples. Okay. One, the example is if you are maintaining the long term with the same vendor, right? If the vendor is already, we are taking the material from the past 5 to 10 years. So we have the trust over it. So that's why we are making the agreement, right? That is the one scenario. That time what will happen? So without making the PO copy also, when you're receiving the goods receipt, so he will send you the invoice copy, all the details. Okay,
Yes,
so whatever the tax and the whatever the price, everything, if any changes is there, so you can he will send the invoice copy. Based on the invoice copy only, we will do the IR process. Invoice we are paying. Like
yes,
if you have mentioned any tax or any price, anything, we'll make that in a IR process change. Okay, that is the one scenario. Or else, if you wanted to make all the details from the company itself, what you can do, you can take the schedule agreement number, you can create the PO copy. Okay, that is for your reference. You can make one more PO copy where I already told you in the contract agreement. Based on the contract agreement reference, we have created the PO, right? We have just mentioned the
yes,
outline agreement
right.
number and we have created the PO, right?
Yes,
Yes, the same thing. You can take the schedule agreement number. You can create the PO there also, but it's not mandatory. Why we are going to agreement to the vendor? Already we have a trust over it, right?
yes,
Yeah, instead of PO and everything, so we can directly send the schedule agreement copy and we can receive the materials. And when we send the invoice copy directly, we will pay to the vendor. That is the one scenario. And the second scenario, if you wanted to make everything from the what companies are doing, right? See, vendor usually what will happen, they are not going to buy from the new vendor or whatever the materials is required. Already they have the so many vendors in a company. Okay, they are buying the material from their vendor only. For that scenario only, they will make this agreement, schedule agreement, contract agreement, everything. So if you wanted to make all those details, you have the second scenario also where you can take the schedule agreement number and you can create the PO copy and you can maintain all those details and you can send it to the vendor. Nothing much difference.
And we have to enter this number in the outline agreement, na?
Yeah, the same thing. Contract agreement I've shown you, right? Outline agreement, you have to give the number. The same thing, you can do it also here. But it's not mandatory. Usually we will go to the schedule agreement and the contract agreement with the trusted vendor, only, not with the new vendor. Companies will go with the agreement based on the previous experience with the vendor.
Yes,
That is
because
the
this,
real
this is
time.
this is the whole thing about the money and all. That's
Yeah.
why nobody can trust anyone. That's
Yes.
why sometimes need to understand.
Yeah, agreement type, usually agreement and all will go for the trusted vendors only, not with the new vendors. They will take, this is not, I have just given for the 1 month or the 2 months in the practice, but in a real time, what will happen? They will go for the long process. It may take 5 years also or 10 years also, we don't know. Based on the companies and how the relationship between the company and the vendor.
Okay.
And if scheduling agreement,
Your voice is not audible, Srinivas.
Hello.
You can speak a little bit loud.
Yes. Now it is fine.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
In schedule agreement, the price and the quantity is fixed, right?
Yeah. The only difference is what we have done na, in a contract agreement. So for a particular 1 year, I require this much complete material. You can receive material anytime, right? In a contract agreement. But in a schedule agreement, what we have done, we have made the dates. For this date, I require this material. We'll fix the time, we'll fix the date. And if you wanted to fix the time also, you can fix the time. Okay. And this particular date, I require this particular materials.
Yes.
That is the only difference compared to contract.
Okay.
There you just mention the target quantity whenever you require the material, so you'll receive randomly. So next 2 months or the next few days only, you can receive all the quantities whichever you have mentioned in the target quantity. But in a schedule agreement, what will happen? You will make the schedules for the next 3 months, next 4 months. You require this much materials. Before that, also you can't able to receive this materials. If you make the June month date and you have mentioned that 5,000 quantity on particular that day, you can't able to receive that material before that time. You have to receive on that time only.
What if we want the based on the urgency? If we want the material before the scheduling date, then
You have to go for the standard normal process. Whatever the price are there, and according to that that market condition, whatever the price are then per particular day, you have to follow the standard process. If
okay.
you want it in an urgent basis, but if you're following the scheduling agreement with that particular vendor, whatever the agreement you have made with that particular vendor on the particular dates for the next 2 months or the next, actually this is the long term. Already I mentioned you repeatedly. For 3 to
Yes.
4 years only, they will go with this process schedule agreement. They will make the agreement. Only the reason here is for the long term process. They will not make agreement for the 2 months or the 3 months. Minimum 2 to 3 years they will make the agreement.
Okay.
That is the only difference.
Ma'am, that means outline agreement is also known as contract agreement.
Sorry. Outline agreement, we have types of agreement. Contract agreement, scheduling agreement. In a contract also, we have 2 types. Completely outline agreement with the agreement with the vendor. For the long term, based on the terms and condition, we make a long-term agreement with a particular vendor. In that different types are there, like the quantity, based on the quantity also we can make the agreement, based on the value also we can make, and based on the schedule time also. We'll have the types. Whatever the types they want in the business, they can follow that one.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in schedule agreement, here we are maintaining the quantity, means like contract, there is quantity and value. Two types are there under contract. In schedule agreement, we are maintaining the quantity.
Yeah, we'll maintain only the quantity on particular day. We are not going to the value. In the schedule, if you wanted to go for the value, I can go in the contract agreement only, right? Scheduling agreement, it's completely, we are scheduling the time. for what and all the quantities they require. If you wanted to go with the value based, you can go follow the contract agreement only.
Okay, ma'am.
Can we do both a value and schedule agreement on but same particular material?
No, in the scheduling agreement, it's not possible.
Okay.
Yes, anything else?
No.
Okay. So we have completed with the outline agreement. I thought of giving the questions, so I'll just give you tomorrow. Okay. From IR, I have to give the questions, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. IR, subcontracting, consignment, physical inventory. I think I have given the questions. Okay, let me check with that. I'll give you the questions, okay, tomorrow. So till outline agreement, I'll give you the questions. And we will start with the auto tech PO and then pipeline procurement and all we have to do. We'll do that. Then,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
if you all face 1 second.